Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. You ain't built for a skirt as a nigga can be. It's gonna sound like when I'm coming, when I'm coming. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like. Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like. E-double-L. I said so. I keep big bills up in my hood on the dirty like Bledsoe. Ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful. And I got plenty of bread, so I go to bed full. I'm in it to win it. I'm all in. I might call you my cuz, young blood, but we ain't kin. You think of jumping, man, you best think again. The dirty, I'm the type of man that might go broke for revenge. Have some not so nice friends, kick the door off the hinge, take the door off your bed, pop up my four of your friends. Man, please, this shit ain't cynical. Man, no
What up, what up, what up, Phin fans? How y'all doing on this Saturday night? Just wanted to drop a quick video and just talk Dolphins, you know? Sometimes you just want to talk the team, no agenda, just talk. Oh. So tomorrow we got probably our toughest game left on the schedule. And if we're really honest with ourselves, our season's done with. I mean, we still got a tiny little chance, but I'm not letting myself fall victim to setting myself up for more heartbreaking disappointment this season. Yeah, I just wanted to jump on here. Tomorrow we have the San Francisco 49ers. This is going to be a tough game. They match up really well with us. I mean, they're the NFC version of us. Mike Shanahan or Mike McDaniel is the AFC Kyle Shanahan. And this is going to be tough. We got a lot of questions that need to be answered in Miami. And there's only a few short weeks left in this season. And then it's going to be time for Stephen Ross to really sit down and evaluate his front office, his coach, this team. And hopefully he sees it like us fans see it and comes to the conclusion that a change needs to happen. We can't continue to go along the same road that we've been traveling on and expect different results. The first step in that is getting rid of Chris Greer. That's the first step. Now, Chris Greer and Stephen Ross got some kind of connection. They're buddy. He likes Chris Greer. And I'm sure Chris Greer's a swell guy. I'm sure he is. And Stephen Ross is 84 years old. He probably doesn't think he has that many more years in him for a rebuild. We're currently in year 6 of this rebuild. So, I mean, Stephen Ross is probably torn. Like, do I rebuild or do I try to give it another shot with the team that I have and just try to make minor improvements? And if he goes the second route, he's only going to push this franchise back further and further. I've been a Tua supporter. I've been a Mike McDaniel supporter. I was never a huge fan of Chris Greer, but Chris Greer did do some positive things for this team. I like some of Chris Greer's moves. I loved when he brought Tyreek Hill here. I loved it. It was great. But then there was other moves that I questioned. The bringing of Jalen Ramsey. I feel like Jalen Ramsey had lost a step a year or two before he was brought to the Miami Dolphins. In that Super Bowl against the Cincinnati Bengals, Jalen Ramsey got cooked. He got cooked by top-notch receivers. Right there, that game, I knew that Jalen Ramsey was no longer the top-notch corner that he once was. So to sit here and pay him the amount of money that we do and watch him week in and week out, I mean, some weeks he makes great plays. Some weeks he looks phenomenal. But then there's the weeks where he's getting beat downfield by the Buffalo Bills' third-string running back. The third-string running back is beating our all-pro cornerback downfield for touchdowns. Like, come on. He absolutely got cooked in the game against the Jets. Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson were both having a field day with Jalen Ramsey. I wasn't a huge fan of the Bradley Chubb trade. Bradley Chubb was an injury-prone outside linebacker that didn't really live up to his draft position. And then moving up for Liam Eichenberg and the Noah Iguodala pick in the first round when Jonathan Taylor was sitting there and we needed a running back. The failure to address the offensive line. Just a lot of questionable moves by Chris Greer. And it's time to answer for those. The rebuild has not been a success. We got a couple playoff appearances, yeah. But obviously we're going backwards. And yeah, we would have probably made the playoffs. Matter of fact, I can guarantee we would have made the playoffs if Tua wouldn't have got hurt. 100% we would have made the playoffs without Tua getting hurt. We wouldn't be in the position we were in. But again, that falls on Chris Greer not having, if we got an injury-prone quarterback, you got to have a reliable backup quarterback. You got to have one. You got to have one. And I know why they don't have one. I know why they kept Skylar Thompson as the backup. I know why. They didn't want to deal with the fan backlash week in and week out because half the fan base loves Tua, half of them hates him. So every time Tua made a mistake, every time Tua threw an interception, this fan base would be calling for our backup quarterback to be put in the game. Every time. And they tried to avoid that by having Skylar Thompson as our backup. Because when we got Skylar Thompson in, what are we doing? Begging for Tua to be back. Watching this offense just be horrendous. Wishing for Tua to be back. I knew I was wishing for him to be back when Skylar was playing and we were scoring 10 points a game, struggling to get first downs. I couldn't wait for Tua to get back. So that's why we don't have a top-notch backup quarterback. That's why we didn't go out and sign Russell Wilson this offseason. That's why we didn't go get Fields. That would have made too much sense for this franchise, right? It would have made too much sense. What up, Cuzzo? What up? But that's not what this is. This is not what it's all about tonight. It's not about hearing me. It's not about hearing me ramble on. I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys want to talk about? What's on your mind? If we move on from Mike McDaniel, who would you like to see as coach? If Chris Grier ends up getting fired, who would you like to see as the general manager? What do we do with Tua and his contract? What do we do with this team moving forward if we stick with Tua? Do you see us being able to be successful as a franchise with Tua as the quarterback if we make some of the right moves? Do you see us having to move on from Tua this year and finding finding a quarterback in this draft to take over for Tua? Do you think we should trade Tyreek Hill? Do you think we should trade Jalen Waddle? Do you think we should re-sign Javon Howland? I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what's on your mind. I want to hear what your solution to our problems are as a franchise. Basis, and I think. And this show's not preaching ground for me. I mean, it is to a point. I get on here and this is the main reason I started this channel is because I wanted to be able to vent. But I also wanted to hear other people's opinions. Maybe they can sway my opinion on some subjects. Maybe they could turn my opinion around. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, and share. January 1st. If you're a sub of the channel, yeah, you got a chance to win $1,000. And trust me, there don't be a bunch of people in here. There don't be a bunch of people live at a time. You're seeing it right now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 12 is the max we had. I mean, a 1 in 12 chance of winning $1,000 ain't too bad. Unless somehow we blow up that day and people come out of the woodwork to come in and try to win the 1,000. You got pretty good odds. You got pretty good odds. So tomorrow we got the San Francisco 49ers. It looks like Jalen Waddle's not playing. He's doubtful. We should be getting Teron Armstead back, which is a big deal. We should be getting Kendall Lamb back. We need those guys back. With Bosa is questionable, but he's probably going to play. Greenlaw is questionable. He's probably going to play. Trent Williams, they're all pro left tackles out again for the 5th straight game. They're down to their 4th string running back. They're 4th string running back. But don't sleep on it, because one thing I've learned over the years is that Shanahan's can turn any regular running back into a serviceable back that can go out and get you 1,000 yards in a season. So don't sleep on it. Mason was on pace for 1,000 yards till he got hurt. Garando, he was averaging over 5 yards a carry. So Patrick Taylor is their starter coming in tomorrow. Don't be surprised if he has a decent game. Don't be surprised. This 49ers team is not as bad as what the record portrays. They got a top 10 offense. They got a top 10 defense. What up? Yet? Nah, we ain't cut to it yet. That's a couple years down the road. I think after without it killing our dead cap too much. So we got, unless we go find someone in the draft, Tua's the quarterback next year, and we're going to have to ride or die with him. Can make, and we're going to be a playoff team if they make the right moves. But do I think we make this deep playoff run with Tua as the quarterback? I can't say that, because Tua's yet to prove it. And like I said, I've been a supporter. I think he has the skill set that can produce in the playoffs in the right situation. But until he shows it, I mean, I can't rock with it. Wasted 5 years. What's one more? Man, I've wasted the last 30 years of my life. The last 30 years of my life. Like, I really contemplate on a daily basis whether I'm ever going to see this team come out of purgatory. Like, I'm questioning if I'm ever going to see it. After 30 years of not seeing a team that is truly a Super Bowl contender without ever seeing it. Sorry about my Wi-Fi, guys. I don't know what's going on. I'm about to get a Wi-Fi connector tomorrow. I see it. But yeah, it worries me. It makes me know I'm flip-flop guys. I wish I could. I would. I really do. Because they continue to let me down. And I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. This is a 5-win team. Yeah. How can you say it's a 5-win team? I can't co-sign that, brother. These Miami Dolphins are better than a 5-win team. This offensive line, we are a playoff team. I mean, we've shown it. We've shown it the last 2 years, and we've shown that. I mean, we're pushing for a playoff spot right now. I mean, we're hanging on by the hairs on our chinny chin chin, but if Tua wouldn't have missed those games, we'd be in the playoffs. So I'm not going to say this was a 5-win team. Took our owner to die to finally see a winning team. Oh, you're a Buffalo fan? Yeah, I mean Buffalo went through it for a lot of years too. The Bills went through it for a lot of years. See, I don't hate you Bills fans. I don't hate Patriots fans really, but I can't stand the stinking Jets. I can't stand that dumpster fire New York Jets team. The New York Jets have nothing to talk good about, but they're the most cockiest sons of butt. Oh man, I can't stand the Jets. And if you tune into this channel any amount of time, you'll see it. We have 6 wins. Next year will be worse. We have 12 million in cap space. Listen, that salary cap is fake. They'll make moves. They'll make room. This team this team can get 40 million in cap space. Bradley Chubb's contract, we're going to drop him. That's 20 million right there. That's 20 million right there. You restructure some guys. We'll have some cap space to work with. Are they though? Are they what? I don't hate any team in NFL. Soon college rivalries will be non-existent. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the college players getting paid. I mean, they should get their schooling for free, their food for free, all that stuff for free. But as far as them being millions of dollars, I don't I don't think that they should they should do that. Hello?
Hey, how's it going, brother?
Hello?
Fins up? Hello.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the show.
Can you hear me properly?
Welcome to the show. How's it going? Yeah, I
I'm
can hear
doing
you.
great. Can you hear me? Great, great, great. Probably getting a little late delay.
Yep, I can hear you.
Y- Yeah, man, fins up.
Yeah.
I think I think I visited Ace Perhead's channel, and you were talking football, and you were talking Dolphins with him there. So I appreciate you coming up there and giving your take and everything about how you feel about the team and everything. So welcome. I would say welcome if you haven't been told it already. Welcome to the community, and it's just been a roller coaster of opinions, up and down, and but at the end of the day, we haven't won in 26 years. So my question to you would be, what's your feeling on uh, Chris Greer's performance from 2019?
Yeah, I mean, that's when Chris Greer really took over as 2019. I mean, he's made some good pressing the trenches. I mean, any football person knows that and lost. I appreciate you thanking uh welcoming me to the community. I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, Chris Greer, like I love the Tyreek Hill, but his drafting of especially in the first round of project players, that's that's not what you do. Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson was coming off a surgery where he gave his sister some bone marrow, and that's admirable. I mean, he's Austin Jackson's a great person for that. But do you go and you draft him in the first round? No, he wasn't ready to play. He wasn't ready to be a franchise left tackle when we drafted him.
Right.
And he's still not a franchise left tackle. He's over on right tackle, and he's only average at that. Let's look
Exactly.
at
And then,
Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips coming off injuries. He retired from football from injuries and came back.
yep.
Jalen Phillips hasn't lived up to expectations. What's his career high? 8.5 sacks for a
And
first
he's
round.
terrible still in the run game, right?
Yeah. Noah Igmandagany. He was a wide receiver in college, couldn't catch the ball, got turned into a corner. We take him at the end of the first round. Jonathan Taylor was there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we
Mm-hmm.
doing? We took Charles Harris one year over TJ Watt. Charles Harris. Do you
Mm.
remember who Charles Harris is?
Yep. Yes, I do. And Justin
Outside
Jefferson was
linebacker
there, so
for Missouri, I think he was, or something.
hmm and you could have
Like,
gotten
that stuff's
Jefferson, and
unforgivable.
you wouldn't have needed Tyreek. You just would have had Waddle and Jefferson. And so, to the thing is, right? We can nitpick this and say, what if, and be Monday morning's quarterback. But one thing that I told the fans is, one thing COVID did to us is it made us more educated. I think the Jets and the Giants are some of the most educated fans, if you ask me. They know the game. And so Dolphins fan base over that period of the pandemic, they had a great chance to improve the trenches. What is a B gap, A gap? What is how special teams work? How does a field goal block unit work? What is setting the edge? And so a lot of knowledge was grown over that time period of being home a lot. The problem with that is that what Greer didn't understand is that, okay, you're replacing Laramie Tunsil. So from that context, okay, you had Tristan Wirfs in the upcoming draft, right? So
Yep.
you could have taken care of Tua blindside just by getting Tristan Wirfs at the 14th pick. The argument is that San Francisco got Kinlaw, and then after that, Tampa Bay jumped us. Well, if
Yep.
we didn't move from where we were, we would have still been able to get him. So the thing is, if even if you didn't get Tristan Wirfs, you still could have gotten a, a great center right now, Cesar Ruiz, and even in the next draft, you did even if you didn't get Waddle, you could have gotten Panay Sewell and Justin Jefferson, or you could have gotten, like you mentioned earlier, Jonathan Taylor. The thing is,
Yeah.
with a Panay Sewell and a Tristan Wirfs and a Cesar Ruiz at center, you're
Yep.
bringing in a guy with a hip injury who needs a year and a half. You also bringing in a guy who's gonna need recovery time to become himself. So if you put up a wall, like right now, Tristan Wirfs is gonna be paid premium. I don't know how Detroit's is gonna pay Panay Sewell. So yes, I'm good with having to let these guys go, but then we're talking about the window to the Super Bowl, which is quite frankly ended this year. So if you have a Panay Sewell and a Tristan Wirfs 3 years in the runnings in this window, I think this would have been perfect form for you to be able to run the ball on 3rd and 1. You would have been able to have adequate time to for Tua to be able to see wide open receivers come loose, whether there's crossers or outs or deep shots that he needs to take, and he needs a 7 step drop. This is the type of offensive line that the Miami Dolphins fans expected when you let a Laramie Tunsil go. And then you immensely failed with the upcoming 11 picks that was given to you, like you mentioned them all. So for me, and not only that, you fast tracked what you were building. You were building the youngest team in 3 years when you got
Mhm.
Flores, and so you threw that all away. when you failed at protection, you failed at getting a good offensive line, and so you fast tracked everything by bringing in Tyreek. You brought in Connor Williams. You brought in Teron Armstead. You brought in Chubb. Ended up bringing in Ramsey. So you fast track from building young, and it blew up in your face. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, to me, it seems like Greer can build it, but it seems like the coaches. Well, I know for a fact Flores. Say what you want about him, but he got 32 players off of the street, and we won 9 out of our last 10 games. Like,
Yeah.
that's like, if you got McDaniel 32 players off of the street, we would go 0 and 12 because he doesn't know how to run a team that he has now. He fails
Yeah.
with timeouts, fails with getting the potential audibles because time is running out. So you never can get a really audible, a really good audible. You fail at clock management coming down to the halves, coming down to the end of games. You fail at throwing the red flags. You cannot delegate during the game because your head is down in the playbook, almost like Adam Gase. And people got
Yeah.
tired of that with Adam Gase. Always like you're in a different world in your playbook, and you're not paying attention to who needs to get in the game right away or who needs to come out the game, the pace of the game, the pace of players, performance of players, who's rising. And so to me, sometimes I think he may need to be fired and learn that somewhere else, because we really, as fans, we're just not we don't have time for him to learn another few years. I mean, it's not our fault we haven't won anything in the playoffs, but we don't have time for him to grow. It's just it is what it is. And that's why people want his head. They want his head and Greer's. But you can kind of deal with Greer, but the philosophy is coming from McDaniel and Shanahan. So you want light feet O linemen, you want light feet guards to be able to get out in space. But then when it comes to third and four, third and one, third and two, or first down and 10, and everybody and your mom knows that you're going to run the football, you're getting a loss. You're getting tackles for loss. So it just show. And then when it comes to winter, Eichenberg is on the ground, Cotton is on the ground, Aaron Brewer is a good find, but these guys can't win in a phone booth for us to get to grind out um, long running yardage drives to where you can, get second and 8, get, third and 1, and then go for it. Just run the ball 3 times and get that third and 1. And we've never been there in 3 years, and I don't think we're gonna, wait for McDaniel to learn.
Well, if he hasn't learned by now, I don't think that it's gonna happen. I appreciate you joining the show. Um,
Sure.
I hope you like the content. I hope you subscribe. January 1st, we'll be giving out $1,000 to a lucky subscriber. So make sure you check this out. 8 p.m. January 1st. But thank you for coming on the show, and I'll talk a little bit about what you said. Thank you.
Thank you too, man. Fins up.
Yeah,
And
fins up, brother.
happy holidays.
You too. Happy holidays. Yeah, everything he said was true. Mike McDaniel can't make adjustments, not even a little bit. Like, for the simple fact that we continue to run Devon A chain up the middle on 3rd and 1. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do you think that's what's best? Is having our 5'8", 180-pound running back run up the middle? Is that what you think is best? Absolutely not. The fact that I can't say that Chris Greer's made too many mistakes. I can't co-sign with keeping him. He's just not. The fact that you ignored and laughed about this offensive line, I can't respect you. I can't respect it. And now that offensive line is what's holding us back. We can't throw deep because nobody respects our run. So the fact that they don't respect our running game because our running backs, our linemen can't block. Now Tyreek Hill is, what is he? A possession receiver? An underneath possession receiver? That's what our $35 million receiver has turned into, is a underneath possession receiver, because I don't care how fast you are. You're not going to outrun the two deep safeties. The fact that we traded back and got Jalen Waddle instead of sitting where we were and taking Jamar Chase. I like Waddle. Waddle is a great number 2 receiver. Jalen Waddle is not a number 1 receiver. He's not a number 1 receiver. And you're lying to yourself if you sit there and say that Waddle is that number 1 receiver. If you say he's on the same wavelength as Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, numerous other receivers, CeeDee Lamb, you're lying to yourself. He's not there. He's not there. As far as Brian Flores, he's right. Brian Flores was a leader of men. Brian Flores had this defense playing really good football. If Brian Flores would have swallowed his pride, and I think Brian Flores, when he gets his next opportunity, he's going to be one of the league's great coaches. Because I think he's learned a little bit of humility, and I think he'll find someone with a bright offensive mind to come in and lead his offense, and he'll just take care of the defense. Mike McDaniel, I said it over and over, tries to be too smart. He tries to play on that and make everybody else look dumb. You see it in his press conferences where he sits there and jumbles on his words instead of get to the point. You know what you got to say. Like, give me a break, bro. Oh, but the physics of doing this is because of this equals that. Like, no, you're just trying to make yourself sound smarter than what you are. This offense is too difficult. It's too difficult. You got these long ass plays. Even Tua said, I watched in a little thing with Tua the other day. Tua's like, by the time I get the play in, it's this long play. I tell the receivers what the play is, and there's this motion and that motion. And by the time I look at the defense, there's no time to make adjustments. It's like, oh shit, I got to snap the ball. You're not giving him an opportunity to read the field and make adjustments. He's got to hurry up and snap it, and then there's motion this way, motion that way. Simplify it. It doesn't got to be so complicated. It doesn't got to be a mile-long play every time. Why does it got to be so complicated? Time management's been a problem. The fact that he wants to be best friends with everybody is a problem. I think Mike McDaniel can be one of the league's best offensive coordinators, but as far as a head coach, I just don't think he has what it is to lead men. I just don't think he has what it takes. And I've said Louis Riddick is our GM, and people have criticized that and said, oh, it's just a name. But Louis Riddick, I mean, I've seen him on ESPN. I've seen him decipher talent, and I've seen what he likes in talent. So yeah, I like Louis Riddick. I wish there was some way that we could get John Gruden. What do you think? What would you guys think of John Gruden as our head coach? We dropped the ball on the Jim Harbaugh thing. Jim Harbaugh was always supposed to be our head coach. We flirted with him a couple times. We weren't ready. He wasn't ready to come here when we needed a coach. And then this past year, when he was ready to come back to the pros, we weren't interested. We had Mike McDaniel. So we let the Chargers steal him from us. But Jim Harbaugh was supposed to be our coach. The Michigan connection with him and Stephen Ross, he was supposed to be our coach. What are y'all talking about over here in the chat? Let's see. Let's go back in a couple of these. JC, with all respect, Bills may run the division, but still have not won anything over the last 3 decades. The Dolphins, Bills, and Jets have not accounts anything in regards to hardware. In my lifetime, I saw Dallas win 4, Steelers, Giants, Ravens win 2, Brady win 7. Anything before that is irrelevant. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Fins fan. I'm always going to shout out them Super Bowls, that undefeated season. But, I mean, like, damn, that shit was a long time ago, bro. Like, it's about time we have something else to brag about. But, I mean, you can't continue. I mean, Bills fans be bragging about them division titles like they are Super Bowl championships, and that they are not. The Buffalo Bills should have championships. Let's keep it real. The Buffalo Bills had some of the best teams this league has ever seen in the early 90s. They were stacked top to bottom. Absolutely stacked top to bottom. Those teams were absolutely killer. Jim Kelly, he's greatly underrated. The way he ran the K gun, Thurman Thomas, one of the league's all-time dual backs. He doesn't get enough respect. Andre Reed was a monster. They had a great offensive line. You got Daryl Talley, Cornelius Bennett, Bruce Smith, Phil Hansen. Like, they had a Bryce Pop at the end of it. They had a squad, bro. They had a squad. Those Buffalo Bills were something serious. No joke. Yeah, if I had a choice, I think this is what I think happens. I think all 3 are back next year. I think Chris Greer keeps his job. I think Mike McDaniel keeps his job. And Tua's our starting quarterback next year. I honestly believe it. And the main reason is I don't know if there's anybody that's going to want to come in and be stuck with Tua's contract the way it is. I don't know if anybody's going to want to come in and co-sign their name to Tua Tagovailoa, and we can't move off that contract yet. We can't move off Tua's contract yet. I wouldn't say Dallas was better. The Buffalo had Dallas in one of those Super Bowls. One of them was a blowout. One of them, Buffalo had Dallas, and then they fell apart. But those Buffalo Bills teams were something special. Yeah, address the offensive line the best we. I think Bradley Chubb gets released, and yet his money isn't freed up till after June 1st. But there's a lot of offensive linemen that become available after June 1st. There's a lot of players that become available after June 1st. That's why I wasn't a big fan of the Chop Robinson pick this year. We had our pick of interior offensive linemen in this year's draft. But we go and we take another project player. That's what That's what Chop Robinson is, a project player. Let's keep it real. I mean, Chop Robinson's came on the last few weeks, and the pick's looking like it's going to be a good one. And I like Chop Robinson. But you're telling me that we couldn't have drafted a top-notch offensive lineman and then picked up someone in free agency that could go get us 7, 8 sacks, what Chop's going to give us? If we would have took a left or let's say we would have took a right guard. The best right guard in the draft was available to us. I can't think of his name right now. I know that Duke say our center was available. He was a top pick. Like I said, the top interior linemen were available. I remember distinctly. Imagine if we would have got the top right guard in the draft. Are you telling me that A-Chain would be averaging 3 yards a carry right now? No. No. Is Patrick Paul the answer at left tackle? I mean, he's graded pretty poorly in the games that he has played, but he hasn't given up any major sacks like that. And he's a student of the game, so I like that. He's a big boy. He's absolutely a big boy. So our offensive line next year, we got Patrick Paul at left tackle, Brewer at center, Austin Jackson at right tackle. Why haven't we played Isaiah Wynn? We make a big deal re-signing this guy. He misses the whole season up until a couple weeks ago. Our guards play like trash last week, getting their lunch ate by the Houston Texans defense, and we still don't play Wynn? Why? Are you telling me Isaiah Wynn isn't better than Liam Eichenberg? And if he's not better than Liam Eichenberg, why did we resign him? Why? I'm not a fan of the O-line in this draft. Even Campbell might be maybe taken first because of injury. He's a tackle with Trex arms. Yeah, I mean, we got to find someone to come in. I mean, pretty much anybody is going to be an upgrade over what we have now. Pretty much anybody. So we got to address it somehow. We got to address it. I am almost positive that Teron Armstead's not coming back. But let's say he does. Let's say for some reason Teron Armstead decides to come back. This big monstrous man, Patrick Paul, can't play a guard position. He can't move people off the ball. He can't do a better job than Liam Eichenberg. I would at least like to see it. I'd at least like to see it. I think the guard for the San Francisco 49ers is going to be a free agent this year. What's his name? Trey Smith for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a pretty good player. I would love to bring him in. Micah Starks, Georgia's safety to replace Holland will be the Dolphins' first. Man, that's a hard sell. I mean, we do need safety help. Don't get me wrong. We do. But I think you take anything besides offense or defensive line, this fan base is gonna be in an uproar. I truly believe this fan base is gonna be in an uproar. We need to get a great middle linebacker. The last great middle linebacker we've had here is Zach Thomas. Everybody talks about how long it's been since Dan Marino has been here, and how long since we've had a great quarterback. How long has it been since we've had a great quarterback of the defense? How long has Zach Thomas been gone for? trade down is the move. Yeah, I mean, if we can pick up an extra second or an extra third, I'm with the trade down. I think you only trade up if you're going for quarterback or a skill position. I think you can find lots of good offensive guards and defensive tackles later on in the first round and in the second round. So I'm not against the trade down. We literally don't have the money even to field a full roster next year. I'm telling you, they'll make the money happen, bro. I don't know exact. That salary cap is a tricky thing, but these teams make it happen. They make it happen. I'm telling you, we'll have over $40 million in cap space. Watch. Oh, I know that Chubb's money is post June 1st, but trust me, trust me. And I can't tell you exactly how it's going to happen, but they will make it happen. I'm going to dig in deeper to the salary cap here in the next few weeks. I'm going to wait till the season's over and I'll break it down and show you some moves that we can make. But that money, that salary cap, you can always restructure people and push the money down the road. You can always push that money down the road. Yeah, I mean the cut money, like I said, the cut money may be June 1st. Most of ours are probably down June 1st. But you can restructure, you can re-sign someone and they're only getting say Tua. Tua was a 20 some $1 million cap hit. We re-signed him, gave him the contract extension. He made way less money this year. It's just the salary cap is crazy. It's a weird thing. But this team is gonna. I mean, have you ever seen a team not field a full roster? They'll make it happen. They'll make it happen. We can't trade Tyreek. That's too much dead cap. Like they'll probably restructure Jalen Waddle, who's probably scheduled to make $27 million this year. They'll turn it into a signing bonus, and his cap hit will be $5 million. There's 20 million. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And I can't say that exactly happens, but for instance, stuff like that happens. You turn Tyreek's into a signing bonus. But this, I mean, we could talk dollars and how many dollars are not. They're not going to be at the top of the salary cap chart, but they'll have enough to make some move. Take a safety in the found. CCRR. What position you see us taking in the first round? What's our number one team need to you? I say offensive guard. I say guard is our number one need. Two offensive guards we need. Because without being able to run the football, it closes down everything else on our offense. It closes everything else down on our offense. Jalen Phillips will be back next year. Chop Robinson will hopefully be a year better. They're talking about releasing Calais Campbell so he can go sign with the a contender to try to win a Super Bowl. I hate that. I think you do everything in your power to try to talk him out of retiring and bring him back. He's been such a great player for us. And yeah, his snap count is limited because of his age. But when he's on the field, he is the number one rated defensive lineman in all of football. He's been phenomenal. Not only that, but the team leader, the presence he brings to this locker room. We need more people like that. And I think you do everything in your power to bring him back and talk him in the stand. There are only 36 players signed for next year, though, unless once you cut guys. Yeah, like I said, I can't explain it fully, but watch. Watch and see. You draft best player available. But this team is a potential Super Bowl team. Or not a Super Bowl team. Oh, Jesus. What am I? Whoa, 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 whoa. This team is a playoff caliber team, though, if Tua stays healthy. So you don't address a team need that helps booster that playoff team. Yeah, JC, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean Super Bowl, brother. I didn't mean it. You're living good right now, JC. Like, you got one of the top 2 quarterbacks in this league. Josh Allen is phenomenal. He's playing out of his mind right now. Playing absolutely out of his mind. You got lucky. That first couple years, first 2 years, first 2.5 years, he was looking like he could have been a bust. His numbers weren't that great that first couple years. But then you guys went and traded for Diggs. It got Josh Allen's confidence up, and he's just turned into an absolute animal. An absolute animal. Your plan when it involved Tua. So do you sit Tua next year? You don't play Tua? Because I mean Tua's going to be on the team. You don't cut him. You can't cut him. So I mean he's going to be on the team. You don't play him? They don't feel like line matters since they got to get rid of the ball so quick because of Tua. I mean, that's just they get rid of the ball so quick because that's what our offense is based on is timing. It's them quick passes. And that yeah, they don't think that we need a offensive line because that's what our offense is. Boom, boom, hitting them immediately, hitting the receivers immediately. But they're learning this year that we can't run the ball with the current offensive line we got, so it needs to be addressed because now our lack of running the ball is affecting our passing game. We can't throw anything deep. They don't respect our run game. We got to improve the run so them safeties have to creep up in the box so Tyreek can take the top off the defense. So Waddle can take the top off the defense. So those linebackers have to play a little bit more shallow. So instead of Tyreek running in front of the linebackers, he gets to run behind those linebackers, sneak behind them. And that's where the big plays come from. And that's why we're not getting the big plays this year. Trade him for a ham sandwich. Man, I'd trade him for half a ham sandwich. At this point, it's not going to happen. That's where we messed up. This is where Chris Greer's biggest mistake is. Chris Greer bid against himself. He let Tua sit out a couple practices, and he got nervous, and he paid Tua money that he wasn't worth. No one's trading for an injury-prone quarterback that is one hit away from career being over He's one not even violent hit away from missing 6 games in a season. Nobody's trading for that. And I don't believe anybody but us was giving him $50 million a year. I think if Tua hit the open market, he wasn't getting over 30. I don't believe there was a team foolish enough to do it. Trading him is only an $8 million cap hit. You sure? You sure trading Tua is only an $8 million cap hit? That's crazy if it is. Let me see. Let me take a look at this. I mean, I still don't think anybody was willing to trade for him though. You got to have a dance partner willing to dance. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, just trying to check this out. Oh shoot. Yeah, post June first. If you trade him post June 1st, it's an $8 million cap hit. I think you got to find a trade partner, and I don't know if you're going to find that. I'd rather have Taker for 40 than Tua for 30 million. Baker for 4. Hell yeah. What? Baker's playing out of control right now. Baker's playing out of control right now. Baker's a good quarterback. Baker's playing really good football right now. Or if we cut June 1st, 2026. Yeah, that's the key right there. June 1st, 2026. The problem is that Tua comes back next year. They're going to win 9, 10, 11 games. And we're not going to be in a position to draft his replacement. So the 26th season will come. We'll bomb out because we don't have a quarterback. And then whoever's available in that 2027 draft, that's where we got to start looking for quarterbacks. 2027 is the year of the quarterback. That's the year that we really get the start over, rebuild. That's why, in my opinion, you trade everybody and try to get as much draft capital as you can, because that's the new thing to do in this league. You find yourself a young quarterback that can ball, and then you put all the talent around him in the world. You throw that whole salary cap at him because that first contract's affordable. You can put talent everywhere on the field around this young quarterback, and that's your chance to win a Super Bowl. Because once they hit that first contract where it's only going to go up 60, 70, $80 million a year, your window's closed. Your window's going to close. Unless you got a player like Josh Allen who makes up for not having a bunch of offensive talent around him. He makes up for not having a $30 million receiver. He makes up for not having a $15 million running back. So if you hit the jackpot and get a superstar like Josh Allen, yeah, you can make it after that initial first contract. But that's what teams are trying to do. That's what the Texans tried to do with CJ Stroud this year. CJ Stroud took a little bit of a step back, but that's what they tried to do. They brought in Joe Mixon. They brought in the receiver, Diggs. Cosa Nostra, what up, buddy? Fins up. Phin Posse, yeah. What makes you think next year will be better than this? I think if Tua's healthy, next year will be better than this. We're a playoff team if Tua didn't get hurt. Yeah, the window did. It closed this year because Tua was still affordable this year because they pushed the money down the road. But next year is the first year that Tua really hits us up on that salary. Next year is that big salary hit. He went from what was it? $9 million this year. Tua only made $9 million this year to $39 million next year. $39 million. So yeah, the practice squad quarterbacks went 1-3. Tua started 1-3. Hard today, he would have won those games he missed. You don't think he would have won any of those? I watched every game this year. I watched every snap. I think he could have beat Seattle. What were their first games? Miami Dolphins' first 6 games. Let's see. Oh, I think we could have beat the Titans if the game went different. Did he play that Colts game? 1, 2, 3, 4. We would have won the Colts game, the Seahawks game, and I think we would have beat the Titans too. I think we would have won those 3. That takes us to 9. We would have had 9 wins right now. Yeah, he did come back and lose 2 straight, but those 2 losses were on the defense. Tua had played good all the way up until that Green Bay game. He played good against Buffalo. He played good against Arizona. Yeah, he had a couple fumbles in the one. I think maybe he lost one of them. He had a safety, but he had played pretty good. Yeah, but we have 9 wins right now. We got 3 games left. That would leave us with 9 wins right now with 3 games left. So we'd get the 10 wins and we'd make the playoffs. Yeah, Arizona game, he came back and he was rusty. It's unexcusable. He should have never did that. That game was on him. He did have 4 fumbles. Listen, I'm not a Tua lover, but I'm a realist, and this team is capable of beating bad teams and average teams with Tua at quarterback. And you play a lot of average teams in the NFL. YouTube thumb 5. Let's freaking go Miami Dolphins. If we make it playoffs, we all know it'll be another first round end. Yeah, it's going to be a massacre. with the way this team is playing right now, I mean, if you would have asked me a month ago when we played Buffalo in that game in Buffalo, I would have been like, yo, like we have a chance. I really thought we was going to win out. I thought we was going to really beat Green Bay. I thought we was going to beat the Texans. I thought we was going to win out and make the playoffs. I thought we were going to go on a run. But this offensive line has gotten worse and worse. Tua absolutely played a horrid game last week, and they've just shown me that they haven't grown at all. They're the same team they were 3 years ago, and that's a problem. That's a problem when you're making the same mistakes you were making 3 years ago. Jesus, you can't just assume Tua would win every game. He's 5-5 on the year. No, I mean, I don't think he would win every game, but those games, Seattle's not a great team. Tennessee is a terrible team. The Colts aren't a great team. It's not like I'm saying they would have beat the Eagles and, you know what I mean? Detroit and Minnesota. I just think he would have beat those teams. I'm not a Tua lover, brother. I'm down for it. I think that we should do everything we can do in our power to get ourselves in a position to get Arch Manning. I think that kid has a head on his shoulders. I think he's a great athlete, and he can throw the rock. Arch Manning is the answer for this franchise. The guy runs 20 miles an hour at the quarterback position. Should not be recommendation of the coaching staff that a backup quarterback off another team came and started a few games for Miami. Where's the continuity? Yeah, I mean, this team has got so many problems. So many. Yo, 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 what up, Magic? Jaden or Kyler? What's starting in fantasy this week? Kyler. Jaden's going up against the Eagles. Kyler's going against the Panthers. Mike McDaniel's 26-22 and 0-2 in the playoffs. Mike McDaniel didn't rebuild this team. He just got a talented team. Trade Tua and Bradley Chubb to Panthers for draft picks. We need the kid from Tulane, quarterback 2026. Nobody's trading for Tua. Nobody's trading for Tua. I wish we could. I wish we could trade Tua. I wish we could. And I don't think Tua's a horrible quarterback. He's just not good enough. He's good enough to beat the bad teams. He's good enough to beat the mediocre teams. He's accurate as shit. He's got a quick release, but he's not good enough. And it sucks. It sucks. What up, a couple of brickheads? I almost missed the years where there was nothing to be hyped for. It'd be a pleasant surprise when we won. Now expectations are sky high, and we are still the same old disappointment. 40-year fan here. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I've been a fan for 34 years. Man, I don't know if I want to go back to. I don't know if I want to go back to the Cleo Lemon days or the Joey Harrington, or I don't want to go back to those days. No, hell no. Hell no, brother. I can't be with you on that one. I get what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. I get it. But no, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want to be back in those days. Those days were absolute horrible. ATL is planning on Kirk Cousins before March 1st. Roster bonus money. Yeah, I feel like he's going to still want big money. I feel like someone's still going to pay him. We're not going to be able to afford him. Brian Hartline. What was it? He was number 82, right? Hartline was all right. It's wild how we are 500 for life. Yeah. A lot of years. Not good enough to win nothing, not bad enough to get the number 1 pick, right? Story of my life. Not good enough to win nothing, but not bad enough to get better. Ray Lucas, yeah. Ray Lucas, Marcus Vick. Remember Marcus Vick? Ray Lucas, Cleo Lemon, Joey Harrington, Chad Henne, come on, guys. We got more. Sage Rosenfels. Sage Rosenfels. Josh Rosen, yeah. Jay Feely, yeah. Pat White, yeah. Pat White, West Virginia. What? We can go on and on in this one, baby. Naming all the trash ass dumpster fire quarterbacks we've had. What was the one from Oklahoma, the little guy? I want to say he took him to a national championship. Tyler Huntley, yeah. Trent Green, Gus Farrat, yep. Both those. Damn, what was that little guy from Oklahoma? He's like a big time quarterback coach or something now. Miami Dolphins quarterback that played football. No, it wasn't Frost. It was damn. Miami Dolphins quarterback drafted from Oklahoma. Damn, what's his name? I can't think of it. Ray Finkel. Oh man. Josh Heupel. Or no, John Beck. John Beck. John Beck. Remember John Beck? Brandon Doherty, Western Kentucky. Yeah, man. We've experienced it. We've got Drunken Miller, yep. I remember him. Yeah, I mean it definitely was an unlucky year for the Dolphins, just like the Finns. Or I mean, it was an unlucky year for the 49ers. The 49ers are super talented, though. They got a super talented team. They got a full roster. They got an all around roster. Just the injuries fucking killed them this year. Sorry about my language. I remember him, John Beck, was showing Tua how to be a quarterback. Shake my head. Yeah, one bad Dolphins quarterback showing another one. JC, you ain't supposed to be upset about it. But as a Bills fan, I understand with Allen, you have hope. But until you win something, what have you done? Being relevant doesn't equal rings, was my point. Facts, baby, facts. Facts. Dolphin fans got to stick together. I appreciate you, Bills fans, for checking us out, being up in here, but y'all haven't won the big one. And I know we haven't won one since the 70s, but we got one. We got two. Them division titles don't make you champions, baby. The standard is championships no matter who you support. Absolutely. Absolutely. Boy, I love losing Super Bowls. I know. I'm from New York, baby. More than half my family is Buffalo Bills fans. I'm telling you, die hard Buffalo Bills fans. They live up 10 minutes from the stadium, Orchard Park, North Boston, Angola. They live right up there. Buffalo Bills regular season world champions. Yeah. I've seen this story before. They getting their hopes up because they beat Pat Mahomes in the Chiefs in the regular season. But they've done that before. And then they show up for the Super Bowl or the playoffs, and the Chiefs spank that ass. Don Beebe, Eric Moulds, they were two good receivers, man. Eric Moulds, I just watched the Dolphins and Buffalo Bills wild card game. It was Marino versus Doug Flutie, and Eric Moulds was a monster in that game. Miami ended up winning the game. Trace Armstrong got the sack to end the game. Man, Eric Moulds was a monster in that game. Monster. Eric Moulds was a beast. All right, folks, I'm about to cut out and spend a little time with the family. I'm going to be live for the game tomorrow. Come check it out with me. If you can deal with a little swearing and a little anger when this team disappoints me, we'll have a good time, brother. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Please, please, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It helps the channel. I'm for you guys. I had left a link up in the comments at the beginning of the comments. So if you ever want to join the show, please, please log in and you can come talk. Special thanks to our guest earlier. I appreciate you. I love hearing your point of view. I think I'm going to start doing this on Saturdays. Have like a little round talk. I mean, we don't got to talk about anything in particular. Just I want to hear from you guys and your opinions, and let's shoot the shit. But I appreciate every one of you. Remember, January 1st, we're doing the $1,000 giveaway to a lucky subscriber. But yeah, again, thank you. I appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Also, I don't get no money on this YouTube thing. Y'all see the Cash App down there if you want to look out for the guy so I can get some more equipment for this podcast. I greatly appreciate it. If you don't, I get it, But if you want to bless the kid for Christmas, I appreciate it. But I'll see y'all tomorrow. Come join me to watch the game. It'll be a good time. And then I'll be live Monday, 8 p.m. for the Blitz on Game Changers Network. Thank you, everybody. Peace out. Happy holidays.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, no, here comes the, oh, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, no, here comes the, oh, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. E-double-L, I said so, I keep big bills up in my hood on the dirty like Bledsoe. Ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful. And I got plenty of bread, so I go to bed full line. In it to win it, I'm all in. I might